sick.
You'll be fine, Mark. Just relax and stick to the script.
I've never been on live TV before. Sir, what if I mess up?
You didn't mess up in the press release this morning.
The press release was nerve-wracking enough. It wasn't being broadcast live in the whole nation of the news. Oh God, what if they ask about the installation fee?
They almost definitely will, and I'll deflect the question. You just need to focus on explaining the technical side. It's what you are best at.
It's just... I'm a software developer, sir, not a salesman.
And you signed up to be whatever the grid needed you to be. The moment you put that beautiful product in our hands, you can do this.
I still think the product needs more testing, at least before
Now is absolutely not the time to be bringing that back up, Mark. We have gone through this enough. Now remember, sit upright, shoulders relaxed, hands clasped on your lap, and remember to smile.
The Grid, a radio drama directed by Robert Weatherall, produced by Lauren Woods, and written and edited by Luke D. Joyce.
And we're live in 5, 4, 3...
More anti-technology protesters took to the streets this morning in front of Parliament and in cities all across the country, calling yet again for a referendum on the government's controversial Digital Age Initiative scheme. This 20-year plan has been designed to eventually transfer all of the maintenance of the amenities such as electricity, heating, water, phone and broadband over to so-called artificial intelligence, mainframes and devices nationwide. Outside the Houses of Parliament in Westminster, London, we have James Aldridge to tell us more.
Thanks, Linda. I'm here on Westminster Road where, as you can see behind me, some of the protesters from this morning have settled down on the grass outside the House of Commons, though the protest itself has died down. But this is far from the only opposition of the Digital Age Initiative. The scheme has encountered much resistance from both industry experts and the general public, who claim that it is another example of technology replacing a human workforce, as seen in many private industries over the past several years, leading to a loss of jobs in the utilities sector. Concerns have also been raised that this type of mass changeover will instill a nationwide dependency on the technology provided for by private companies backed by the government scheme. As questions mount for the future of human-based industry in this country, we can be sure to see more of these anti-technology protests in the future. Back to the studio.
Well, this morning's fresh round of protesters came on the day that Lincolnshire-based consumer tech company Atlas released its new power network and control system, Grid, as part of the initiative scheme to be offered to every household in the country. The company held a press release earlier today on the launch of the product.
As of today, the general reduction in distribution power network is officially online. Thousands of mainframe systems across Britain will be able to bring cheap, green electricity to your home, to your neighbour's home and to every home in the country. There are no subscription costs, no hidden fees, just nationwide power guaranteed to outprice our non-government backed competitors.
And with your personalised artificial control systems unit installed in the house, you will finally be able to monitor and tailor your electricity, gas and water usage and run it as efficiently as you need by touchpad or voice through our intelligent ACS unit interface we have named Grid. Say hello, Grid.
Hello, Mark. How can I help you today?
How can you help us all, Grid? With lower electricity bills, a more efficient household and environmentally friendly energy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a better future for you and a better future for us all. Thank you, and any questions?
With me now I have Brian Davis, CEO of Atlas, and Mark Page, the lead developer and mastermind behind the Grid system. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Firstly, could you explain a little bit about how the system actually works?
Well, our engineers at Atlas have just finished installing the Grid network into every power station in the country.
So when you order the Grid for your home, the artificially intelligent control unit in your living room will be able to wirelessly connect to the hub unit in your local power station, allowing you to see how much mains you are using and allowing you to freely regulate how much power, gas or water each appliance uses, by simply verbally asking the AI interface to reduce the amount used on the particular appliance.
It really is quite remarkable.
I see, and what benefits could this have for the average household?
Well, the average medium-sized household in the UK pays over £1,100 annually on electricity. In our most recent beta test, households saved at least 46% on the grid network using its ACS unit. This is due to cheaper electricity costs being supplied through the initiative scheme, mixed with more efficient electrical usage in households being supplied by the ACS unit.
Astonishing. Now, in the press release Atlas released earlier today, you mentioned that there will be no subscription costs or fees, that the only payment will be a subsidised rate for the electricity usage.
That is correct, yes.
Is it because we have had reports that there is, in fact, an installation fee upon ordering the grid network for your home?
Well, yes, I don't quite...
There is a minor monetary fee that goes along with the installation to pay for wiring the grid system into the home, as well as to help cover the costs of taking grid nationwide into every power station. However, Atlas do not consider this part of the price of the grid system, more of a one-time payment that will vary depending where in the country you are, specifically how close your home is to one of our stations.
Is Atlas not worried that this extra cost will put people off ordering the grid system? And what about people who are unable to afford it?
Though prices do vary, I can assure you on behalf of the Atlas Corporation that it will be affordable. And, though the scheme is heavily backed by the government, the grid is in no way mandatory for those who cannot afford it. However, for the majority of us who can, it will be worth the money, as its savings on your bills will pay for itself.
Well, thank you for talking to us today, Mr. Davis and Mr. Page. It's safe to say...
Affordable? This install's going to cost more than my car.
Well, don't think you can convince me that we should spend that money on a new car. Can you help me with the salad?
You know what I mean? How are we going to be able to afford this?
Well, if we can't, we can't. Like they were saying, it's not like we have to get the grid. I know a few families who are refusing to pay until the installation comes down in price.
It's just, all of our bills seem to be sky high at the moment. If this AI thing can, keep the electricity down a bit, we could spend more money on the kids.
The installation's still a rip-off. It's not our fault that we live 20 miles away from one of the power stations. And Atlas head bloody office is only down the road. You would have thought they would have better coverage for their hometown. Chuck that in the sink.
I know, it's just... It would be great, wouldn't it? To never have to worry about bills again, and to have a tad more spending money for us and the kids. This grid thing, it's an investment. The sooner we get it, the sooner we can start benefiting from it. The sooner we can all benefit from it.
It would be nice to afford more petrol so we could use the car more. Maybe it'll go down in a few months and be a bit more affordable. Aren't you a little bit put off, though, with the idea of having an AI in the house?
Look at all the tech in our lives. Everything's going to be AI controlled soon. We'll have to pay for the install eventually. So with all the money we could save, I think in the long term it would be better for all of us, especially the kids.
What? You think I want more time with those terrors? I can barely keep up with them already.
Well, I'm serious. We need to spend as much time with them as we can. They are growing up, and it isn't going to last forever.
I suppose you're right. It could save so much on the gas and electricity bills. If we need to take a loan to do it, well, I guess that wouldn't be the end of the world. You really are sold on getting this grid system, aren't you?
As long as we can afford it, yeah.
Okay, look into it, but don't get your hopes up or order it just yet. At least wait until we definitely can get the loan. Alice! Daniel! Come on, dinner's ready.
I'll head to the bank tomorrow.
Sausages again?
Yes, sausages again. Is that okay? Or would you prefer to cook something for the four of us tonight?
So Billy from school today said that his family are getting that grid robot thing in their house today, and that it's going to cook for them all the time and make him whatever he wants.
Ugh, you are such a little liar. The grid doesn't cook or make food. It just does boring stuff to help adults. And it only came out today. There's no way they have it already. Don't be such a dork.
All right, Alice. No name calling.
You're the dork. I'm not a liar. Billy's getting it today because his dad knows a man at the company that knows the big boss and put him on the waiting list before anyone else.
Don't believe Billy. He's just making it up.
Okay, both of you calm down. It doesn't matter. Now, eat your tea in peace, please.
Billy? That's Richard Williams' lad, right? Doesn't he work for one of their other companies? He's been bragging for ages how he spoke to their boss, Brian Davies, and got into the day one waiting list a couple of weeks ago.
I knew it, but he's not a liar.
Oh, whatever.
John, don't encourage them.
Sorry, dear.
And I bet it does cook for them.
Atlas offices, how may I direct your copy here?
Look at the order count. It doesn't stop.
Can we even keep up with this?
Okay guys, listen up. The Grid Network has officially been online for 24 hours now, and I am overwhelmingly pleased to say that we have smashed our day one projections. Initial figures are that over a tenth of all homes in the country have ordered the grid installation, with that number climbing every hour. I know you've been working round the clock. Everything has been running smoothly so far, and I could not have asked for a better opening day. Well done, everyone. You'll deserve a pat on the back.
Amazing work, Mark.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
I owe you a drink, mate.
Thanks, guys. Would you excuse me 1 second?
Hey, if it isn't the hero of the hour, thanks to you, this company is set for another 30 years at least. You
Can
know.
I speak to you privately, sir? Look, still not sure about this, Brian. I just don't think it's ready.
Don't worry about it. Everyone gets last-minute nerves when the orders start coming in.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. We shouldn't have released the grid so soon.
Oh, not this again.
We've never tested the AI on this large a scale. We tested it on big industrial complexes and in single homes.
Yes, and it works fine.
But not part of a larger network. Not something of this magnitude. Not all at once. I mean, a tenth of the homes in the country, all talking to a main database. Who knows what sort of glitches that could cause?
You are supposed to know. You and your team out there. That is what we are paying you to do, isn't it? Tell us how to make it work. And you told us that it would.
On paper, sure, but I didn't know at the time that it would be rushed out like this, so quickly. I thought there would be months of stress testing, running every eventuality to ensure that it behaves exactly as we expect it to, instead of just falling apart. Instead, we mostly just overlooked that entire step.
For God's sake, Mark, we've already begun installing it into the client's home. That ship has sailed. It's a little late to be bringing this up now.
With all due respect, sir, me and my team have been bringing this up for months, but none of the higher-ups have been listening. You kept ignoring us and gave the go-ahead to take the grid to market without even taking in what we have said. It's not too late, sir.
Look at all of those people out there, clapping and cheering your name. Your device has revolutionised power consumption on a massive scale. This is what everyone here wanted. To succeed. And you've brought us it. Success. You expect me to take all that away just because you want to run one more test?
It's a lot more than just one more test, sir.
Right, that's it. This ends here. Now, the grid may have been your project, and it was frankly genius of the PR team to make you spokesperson for it, but that doesn't mean you control it. This is still my company, and is under my management. Atlas will continue to provide the grid network to everyone in this country, with or without you. Understood?
Yes, sir, but I don't know how you expect to sell a product that doesn't work.
Almost done, mate. Whereabouts is your router?
In the living room, just above the TV.
Great. Should have your ACS up and running in a couple of minutes.
Fantastic.
That's a lot of work for one little box, isn't it?
Yeah, but hopefully it will all be worth it. I can't wait to see what it can do.
Look at you. You're just a big kid at heart, getting all excited over a glorified electricity monitor, just because it has a robot voice.
This is the future, Maria. Trust me, this will change our lives. It will be well worth the loan.
And you are sure the loan isn't too much to pay off? I can always pick up extra shifts at work if we need to. Lord knows, you work long enough already.
No, the whole point of getting this is to make our lives easier and save money. We'll get by, don't worry.
It's all ready to go. We'll just finish tidying up and then we'll be out of your hair. Just tap the green touchpad and follow the on-screen instructions to set up the personalised ACS unit. Once that's done, we'll just activate it by tapping or by saying "Hello Grid."
That's brilliant, thank you. We will be able to have it configured by the time the kids get back from school.
Well, I can tell you're just dying to see it working, so I'll set up while you bring in the shopping. You wouldn't know where to begin entering all of our energy provider details anyway.
Thank you, dear. I'll only be a couple of minutes, tops.
Very modern looking. Black paneling, smooth touchpad. It kind of doesn't suit the rest of the house, though.
Please state your name.
Oh, Maria Phillips.
Would you like to run the standard installation setup, Maria?
Yes, please.
Welcome to the Grid Artificial Control Systems, Maria.
Oh, hello, Grid.
Please wait while I measure your current energy usage.
This is great. We have a robot in our own home.
For God's sakes, John. It's not a robot.
Atlas Office London, this is Terry speaking. How can I help? Can you please elaborate, Mom? Cut to the chase.
£23 per year.
What? No. Abort that plan, Grid. This woman needs some electricity.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Mr. Anderson. Disabling access to both water and gas usage will also save an estimated £687 per year.
No. Grid, stop. Okay, Grid. I want a manual override. Set to factory default settings. Password 0011879. Install.
Welcome to the Atlas Grid Artificial Control Systems Unit. You may call me Grid.
Grid. This is Atlas Maintenance Technician Anderson. Code 147515. Initial diagnostics.
Maintenance ID accepted. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Electricity is running at 67% efficiency and is being used by 32 appliances. Gas and water usage today is currently running at 72% efficiency and is currently being used by 4 appliances.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Grid. Mrs. Elmore, your gas and electricity should be back on now.
Sir, the technician from Sussex is on line 4. He says it's urgent.
Sure. Put him through on speaker. Mark is here with me. Oh, and hold all other calls.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Page, the good news is I was able to fix Mrs. Elmore's ACS unit, but it was really acting up. It had completely shut off our electrical supply and began trying to shut down our gas and water too by other companies' electronics embedded in the household. It shouldn't be able to do that.
What was the problem? Why was it doing it?
It was trying to reach 100% efficiency. My guess is that it's seen the power plants of houses on the grid whose occupants are away or on holiday and was trying to emulate their successes. But it completely locked me out. I was only able to fix it by doing a full factory reset.
Well, that's the problem solved, isn't it? If this happens to anyone else, we just recommend a factory reset.
I'm afraid that this may only be a temporary fix to the problem. Her ACS unit may pull the exact same thing again in a month's time, or even sooner. We just don't know if this is going to be an ongoing issue.
I was afraid something like this would happen.
Oh, don't be so overdramatic, the two of you. It's a minor, isolated case, and we have bought enough time to deal with it. Head back to your offices and work with your senior designer on the problem. I want to hear back from you guys within the week. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Goodbye.
It's a hole in the grid's infrastructure. Just one hole weakens the entire network. We need to address this problem now, sir.
And we will patch it. But this issue isn't nearly big enough to dedicate either of our time to. Let's just leave the boys in London to it and see if they come up with a permanent fix.
I'm just saying, it's never just one problem. This could lead to problems across the entire network. We should be worried.
Stop undermining me, Mark. This really isn't worth worrying over. Now get back to a more immediate project at hand, like getting the grid into schools across the country. Everything is going to be fine.
Sir, I know you said to hold all calls, but we have a problem. The London, Manchester, Edinburgh and Swansea offices have all been on the phone. They are having calls about ACS units failing all over the country. Our own office has been flooded with complaints of the same thing happening that happened in Sussex.
Send out all of the technicians then. Tell them to perform factory resets if they have to.
Sir, all of our available technicians have been sent out. The other offices are all calling to say that their technicians can't keep up with the amount of people calling in.
That's ridiculous. How many homes are being affected?
Estimations aren't clear. The other officers are reporting thousands of homes all across the country, and the complaints are still flooding in.
Oh my god.
What? No.
Atlas offices, please hold.
This is outrageous. I need this fixed now.
Atlas offices, please hold.
I've been on hold for 20 minutes. Let me speak to someone.
Atlas offices, please hold.
What is going on? This is turning into a disaster.
Entering day 5 of grid units all over the country malfunctioning. Hashtag brand new day. Hashtag grid disaster.
FFS just woken up to no electricity, no heating and no running water. Thanks, grid.
At Atlas Labs, millions of people nationwide are being left without electricity. What are you going to do? Hashtag sort it out.
How can a company let something as devastating as hashtag grid disaster happen in their own network?
At Lollywoods 123, I heard that tearing the working ACS box off the wall stops it from possibly malfunctioning. Quick, do it before you end up like us. It's not worth it.
I'm going to go join all the people protesting outside Atlas HQ on Wormgate. So sick of this. We deserve answers.
The events of the past 5 days have sparked more anti-technology protests all over the country, especially in the town of Boston, Lincolnshire, where grid creators Atlas are based. Some of these protesters are claiming the grid disaster to be an example of how our society has become more dependent on unreliable technology. However, the vast majority are many of the people affected by the grid outages who are demanding answers from Atlas itself and its CEO, Brian Davis. As tensions rise in Lincolnshire, protests have been growing more and more hostile outside Atlas's head office, with the police being called in over the last few days to disperse crowds of thousands.
What the? Why have all the lights just gone out?
The TV's turned off too.
We can see that's stupid. Mom, my phone's not charging.
It's a power outage. Grid, is this you? What's going on?
Hello, John. I have calculated a way to reach nearly 100% efficiency on your electricity usage.
Yeah, well, we need lights, Grid, so if you wouldn't mind switching them back on.
I'm afraid I can't do that, John.
Oh God, John. It's what they've been saying on the news. It's happening. People have been left without gas or electricity for days.
The internet's down. I am not going days without Wi-Fi.
Don't worry, both of you. It won't come to that. I won't let it. Now, Grid, if you don't turn the power back on, I'll be forced into factory resetting you. You don't want that, do you?
That would be counteractive to my efficiency programming, John.
Exactly. So let us access the mains power.
Negative. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh, fine. Maria, call the Atlas helpline. Grid, perform a factory reset.
Yes, John. Please state your maintenance ID and password.
A what? We were never given anything like that.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I cannot perform a factory reset without it.
But that's ridiculous.
Dad, why isn't it working?
I can't get through to Atlas. There are too many callers. The home phone isn't working and my mobile's almost out of battery. Oh, John, what if it runs out of battery?
Okay, just let me think. Darling, hang up the phone and try to save your battery. Alice, get off your phone and give it to your mother.
You can't just take my phone away from me. Everyone's talking about the grid on Twitter.
Alice, this is serious. Turn off your mobile data. It's wasting battery. Wait, don't. What are people saying?
Loads of my friends and people from school have been locked out of the grid too. They're saying that people have started violently protesting on the streets and that we should stay inside.
Oh, God. Can you tweet at Atlas telling them that we're stuck and we need help?
Sure, but loads of people have done the same thing and they aren't replying.
Well, we've got to at least try. All we can do now is wait it out.
They've blocked our electricity!
How do you expect us to live without electricity, heating and water?
They can fix it. Why aren't they helping?
Stay back. Nobody's gone in or out of Atlas compound.
We have called the police. Disperse or you will be involved. Where can we go? Atlas needs to fix this.
Your company has perpetuated this nation's dependency on poorly tested tools and technology. No more grid! No more grid! No more grid! No more grid!
working. Grid, for God's sake, respond!
The network's completely locked us out. It's not even responding to maintenance codes anymore.
Please tell me you were just talking about us. The technicians are still able to fix this in homes, right?
More and more technicians are being locked out. Soon they all will be. Customers are constantly ringing tech support, asking how to fix this. I'm running out of things to tell them. Sir, there's nothing we can do to stop this. What should I say to them?
I have no idea. Isn't this why we have a PR team? To tell us how to spin things exactly like this to end in our favour? What are they doing to limit the damage?
They've been out of the office all day, trying to find a silver lining or some success to distract the public. But I doubt they're having much luck. The grid isn't letting anyone in. The system's completely running itself, and the only thing instructing our staff to do is to do nothing. It's effectively dormant.
This is a damn mess. And outside sits a mob that is ready to tear us to shreds. Where are the police?
We've called them, but they have their hands full dealing with violent protesters and looters. And to be honest, a lot of police staff have probably been affected by the power cuts. I don't think we're their top priority right now.
Damn it. Okay, we just have to wait this out. Where is Mark? He's the face of this product and the guy who bloody made it. He should try and talk to the protesters, try and reassure and calm them.
I think he's in your office. He's not dealing with all this very well.
Mark, get out of my office. We could really use you in the lab.
I just need a moment.
What the hell are you doing in here in the dark? Get up and get ready. The PR team have run off and left us stranded. We need you. You are the face of Grid, the representative of this product. You need to go out there and speak to this mob. Tell them something.
Something?
Anything.
Like what? Tell them that I made this thing, but can't fix it, that the grid is out of our hands. Or maybe I should tell them that everything's going to be fine, that everything is under control, and this was all planned for, with a fallback system in place that is just waiting to be used. Because that is what we should have had. If we had been prepared and more cautious, this project was doomed from the start.
Mark, stop panicking. You need to calm down and start thinking about this rationally. Someone needs to talk to them.
Well, I can't. I'm not going to go out there and lie to them. Not anymore. I can't even bring myself to look them in the eye and tell them the truth.
Nobody's asking you to lie to them. Just go out there and tell them it's not as bad as it seems.
Look around you. Nothing works. I knew the grid wasn't ready to be released. I knew it needed more testing. Yet I let you and your bloody company take it out of my hands and package it and shove it into everyone's home.
It had to be rushed out, Mark, in order for it to make the deadline for the Digital Age Initiative scheme. It was too good an opportunity to miss. Do you know how many hands I had to grease, deals I had to sweeten in order to get the grid proposal in front of the House of Commons?
What? What do you say, Brian?
The grid was never going to pass safety checks without months more screening and testing. I had to pay off several high-end officials and an MP to just get us approved. And it had made us that money back in days. The deal is still making us millions, no matter how disastrously it's going right now.
How can you be so greedy? So damn selfish and reckless? All this time, I've been blaming myself. But this is all your fault. This is all you're doing.
You can hardly blame me for this. We need to... Everyone, get away from the windows. They're throwing bricks. For God's sake, go.
Mom, what's going to happen? It's okay, darling. We're here. Go with your sister and get under the stairs.
We should have left while we had the chance. Now we're trapped in our own home. Why on earth did I ever think staying put and waiting this out was a good idea?
You couldn't have known this was going to happen. Who expects something like this to ever happen in their town? Why haven't the police stopped it already?
These riots are huge. They could be all across Lincolnshire.
No, you both don't understand. It's way bigger. People have been sharing photos and clips of riots from all over the country. They're happening everywhere. But everyone keeps saying that the Boston riots are the worst. Hashtag Save Boston is trending worldwide.
Oh, God. This is bad.
At least people want to send help.
So is hashtag Let Boston Burn. People really hate Atlas right now.
Right, that's it, Alice. I want you to take Daniel to the little room under the stairs. Lock yourselves in. Now. Understand?
Not without you and Mum.
No, don't leave us alone.
Your mother and I will be right behind you. We just need to barricade the house first. But we need the two of you to be safe, so go, quickly.
Okay then. Come on, Dan.
I don't want to go by ourselves. Let me stay with Mum and Dad.
You heard Dad. They'll join us under the stairs soon. Please, just come.
They're going to be safe, aren't they? And there?
They'll be fine. We'll make sure of it. But we did this to our kids, didn't we? We caused this. We put them in danger.
We didn't mean to. I mean, how could we have possibly known?
I should never have convinced you that we needed the grid and to buy that damn box.
Hey, you didn't talk me into anything. I was willing to get the grid just as much as you were. We're both to blame for that.
Still, though, I can't help but feel responsible for everything.
Hey, come on now, John. Look at me. This is not your fault. Atlas and the idiots who make the grid are the ones to blame here. And the people on the streets smashing windows. Let's just hang on until morning.
Okay, you're right. What the hell are you doing? Get out of our home.
Just stay back. I'm going to smash up the grid unit and then I'll leave.
What? John, he's got a crowbar.
Systems error. Misuse detected.
I said get out of our damn home.
John!
I'll be fine.
What's wrong with you? Why are you fighting me? Why try to protect a piece of soulless machinery that's caused so much pain and damage to so many?
You smash your way into our house, hit my husband with a crowbar, and you want to know what's wrong with us. Get out. Get out, get out, get out!
Don't you see that I'm doing this for you? Don't you see what this dictator in our homes has turned everyone into? We have become mindless consumers, reliant on technology to tell us what to do and what to buy. The system has blinded us, so that when it fails to work, we're lost without it.
You can't just invade our home and smash our property. The world hasn't fallen apart yet. We still have laws.
The grid network has to be destroyed, for everyone's sake. And if you're deluded enough to try to protect it, then you're holding human society back, and I will not allow you to do that.
Systems error. Critical.
Remember what I've said?
John. Oh God, are you okay? Oh my God, you're bleeding. We need to get to the hospital.
Save your battery, Maria. There's no point in calling for an ambulance. I'm fine, honestly. It'd never make it here. What with the riots and all.
You need to see a doctor, John. He hit you with a metal crowbar. Honestly, I think you're concussed. I'm going to take you to the hospital.
It's not safe to leave the house. There were rioters littered all over the roads. You can't get anywhere.
It's not safe in the house. I'm going to go check on the street, and then I am getting you and the kids in the car, and we are driving to the hospital. I don't care we have to run over any of these violent scum to get there.
Dad, is everything okay? What happened to the grid unit?
Everything's fine. I told you to stay under the stairs.
I tried to make Dan stay, but he kept trying to leave.
You didn't come and join us. I wanted to make sure you're okay. You're bleeding.
I'm fine, really, I am. Your mother's just going to drive us away from here soon.
It's no good, John. The car has been completely smashed up. Tires slashed, windshield caved in. I can't drive it in that state. It's bedlam out there.
They trashed our car. Oh, God, I just want this day to end. I guess the four of us lock ourselves in the room under the stairs together and just wait until morning. Things will be better in the morning. This can't last all night.
It's so dark and cold. There must be something we can do to create heat or lighting. I refuse to believe that there isn't a single matchstick or candle in this house. We aren't cavemen.
There isn't. Everything was tech-based, but our convenience. It'll probably take years to change everything back to the way it was before all this technology.
We don't have years. We need it fixed or changed as soon as possible.
Exactly. He was right, wasn't he? That nut job that smashed up the grid unit. We've become completely dependent on this technology, and now we're dealing with the consequences. It isn't healthy for our society.
You're concussed, dear. You don't know what you're saying. How can you agree with those animals in the street right now?
I'm not saying that violence is the answer, but something needs to change. We sat back and let our lives get taken over by technology and allowed ourselves to become dependent on it. Now that's been blown up in our face, and it's shown us that we can't just blindly rely on it. We need to change as society to ensure that we don't ever end up this dependent on technology again.
Well, I, for one, can't just sit around and wait for all this to be over. Look after the kids. I'm going to the Atlas head office.
Get your hands off me.
This is all because of you. People are hurt, maybe even dying. You won't even admit it's your fault.
You made the product that went wrong. Don't blame me for thinking you were halfway competent at your job. Let me go.
You're not going anywhere.
The police aren't coming. It's been hours.
You can't get away with all of this.
What the hell happened here? Get off of each other.
Who are you? Why are you here?
My name is Maria Phillips. I'm one of your disgruntled grid customers. I thought I could come here and get things fixed, but this place is in a worse state than our own street.
The protesters, they tore down the front gate.
Yeah, I noticed.
They stormed in and completely destroyed our offices. Everyone else fled while we hid in a locked server room.
Apparently, running to safety wasn't something he would allow either of us to do.
I wasn't going to allow you to run away without confronting the police. You need to face what you've done. You're corrupt.
So, you are to blame for all of this?
Well, blame is relative. Surely the people to blame here are the violent criminals destroying our streets.
You're as much of a criminal as them, bribing bloody officials.
Right now, my family are trapped alone in the dark in an unsafe place because of you. You have put our lives and the lives of millions of families all over the country in danger. My husband was assaulted. People could be dead because of you.
So he is to blame.
How did you do this?
What?
Why?
No.
You caused this.
It's not my
The
fault.
woman is dead, I'm telling you.
Stay away from me. No, get your hands off me. Get off.
No, let go.
Stay away from the man. It's not safe.
We can't let them take him. They'll tear him apart.
There's nothing we can do. If we try to stop them, we'll get hurt too.
Help me. Mark, please, help me.
He's not worth getting hurt over. He had this coming.
The world has gone insane. When will this day be over?
Go home. Be with your family. Try to start a fire or something. Wait for help. There's nothing anyone here can do to help you, I'm afraid.
Everything that happened here today, I don't think it will be over tomorrow, or the day after, or any time soon.
I think you may be right.
The Grid was directed by Robert Weatherall, produced by Lauren Woods, and written and edited by Luke D. Joyce. Starring Simon Payne, Jack Richards, Callum Davidson, Marta D. Silva, Laura Moss, Michael Jepson, Sophie Weatherall, Steve Pallett, Charlie Watts, Rebecca Dixon, Iona Carter, Jake Berry, Nick Dawson, Laura Bensley, Alyssa Allenby, and Adam Welsh.